Hey, and welcome to Online BA 240 Managing Business Information Class 1. All right, let's get underway. Today, what we're going to talk about is just the course overview, right? That's what we'll do for all of today's class, all of the video series that you're about to watch. We'll talk about the text, right, and how to view that, and how to interact with My IT Lab, right, where all of your homework's at. We'll talk about these class videos, what you're watching right now, the videos, the quizzes, and the file uploads, right? We'll talk about the lab exams. That is where you and I meet in person, right? This is an online class, but it's a hybrid class. You do show up for labs. You got to show up for lab every week. That's when you and I, we meet over at Childs 225, and we meet and we take an exam every week, all right? We'll also talk about grades, how the grades work in this class, and how it is that you pass this class, right? I'll just kind of mention about the syllabus and Canvas and My IT Lab in this video, but then as you watch more videos for this class today, there'll be a class just about the syllabus, a class just about Canvas, and a video just about My IT Lab. All right, so sorry, not a class, but a video about syllabus, video about Canvas, and a video about My IT Lab. So we're gonna talk about those things in broad strokes right now, but then we'll look at them in detail in each of those videos. Labs, all right, so that time that you and I meet during the week and we take an exam, the labs, you have got to be there, okay? You can't miss them. You can't miss them. The only excused reason for missing lab is if you're sick, or you're taking care of someone that's sick, or you're away at you're on an athletic team and you're out of town or something like that. Okay, that's the only reason that I can excuse a missed lab. It can't be for personal reasons or anything else. You can't miss labs. You got to be there. If you miss a lab, you'll probably won't pass the course because there were so many points. All right, so it's just you got to be there. Right, you got to be there. We meet in person every week at lab. Okay. In general, what's the point of the class, right? Well, the point of the class is for you to gain a bunch of useful skills, and you will get those. However, there are other things that we're going to do in here, all right? To be an effective manager, you need to be able to adapt to emerging technologies, and that's a lot we're going to do in here. There's a lot for you to figure out in this class, and that's what you're going to do. You're going to figure out how to master this new stuff, all right? And then, so you're going to learn a bunch of skills about Microsoft Excel. That's the main gist of what I'm going to teach you. But I'm also going to teach you how to be adaptable and take on these new technologies that are coming at you. And then the other thing is to figure out how to take data and turn it into useful information so that you can help your organization make business decisions, right? And then in addition, also we're also going to deal a lot with professional development in this class, and I'm going to try and do everything I can to help you further your professional development so that you can interview better, get better jobs, and just have a better experience here at college in general. Okay. The overarching principle of the class, right? And we're going to say this a dozen times in class, if not more. You're going to take raw data, turn it into useful information so that you can then make decisions with it. And let's start with that, with the data part. What is data? All right, so there's a lot of definitions out there floating around about data, but in its most basic, we'll say that data is unorganized raw information. Okay, that's what data is. And to give you an example of that, let's say that I had a list on paper, right, written out, and it was of every click that you'd done on your smartphone over the last year, and I had that for you and all of your friends, right? That would be a massive list, right? I mean, that piece of paper would scroll out and probably wrap all the way around the building a couple times, right? It'd probably be miles long, every single thing you'd done on your phone for the last year and all of your friends, right? So it would just be this gigantic list of at this time of day they clicked on this and then this and then this and this. And so what can I do with that list of raw data? Almost nothing. That would be almost a useless list, right? What would I do with just this random stuff about button clicks? Nothing, right? There's nothing I could do with that. Just be this mile-long piece of paper with just random information on it. Nothing I could do with that. It'd be totally useless. However, if I could then use the tools that we're going to learn in this class, right? If I could use the tools, the computerized tools that I'm going to teach you, if we could use that to then organize that information, I could do amazing things with it, right? I would then know what time of day to advertise to you, what kind of keywords would get you to buy buy things, right? What kind of social media you're on, and how you communicate with your friends, what things you already own, right? So with that information, right, with that data turned into information, I could make decisions for my business on how to target my advertising and marketing towards you to get you to buy my stuff, and that would be gold, right? That's the kind of information that businesses want to use to make their decisions. So we take raw data, useless stuff, turn it into information that our business can then make decisions with, and that is the idea. Right? That's the idea behind that. Right? And so this is more than a course in Excel and Access, much more. However, you will learn some awesome stuff in those fields. Right? What this a lot of times is about is about professional development, about you becoming better at a lot of stuff. Right? And one of those things that you're going to become a lot better at is just mastering new technologies. Right? You're going to be a lot more confident coming out of this class about being able to go and take some new piece of software or hardware that you've never seen before and just start working with it and have the confidence that you can do it because you've done it in here. You figured it out in here, you'll be able to figure it out someplace else. Okay? And how's this course going to work? Well, it's going to work, but you're going to do a bunch of work. You're going to work really hard. We got a lot of stuff coming up. It's well worth it, I assure you, but there is a lot of work coming your way. All right? And the easiest way to stay on top of that is to check out the course overviews for each week. And there's a whole another video coming up just showing you how to do that. Right? And then this is the structure of activities, right? So there are always, we'll be doing 1 or 2 chapters of work a week. Okay? And within there will be 2 types of homework that you'll be doing. The homework is always on My IT Lab. You'll be doing grader projects or simulations. That's going to make a lot of sense. You got a video coming up to explain that to you. There will be Canvas work, just like you're doing now. This is a Canvas activity. There are, for every class meeting that we would have had in the real world, right? If we'd met for every Monday and Wednesday class that we would have had then, we now have these online Canvas activities, the thing you're doing right now, okay? And those are made up of the videos you're watching, like right now, the quiz that you'll take right after this video, and then the file downloads and uploads that you'll do at the beginning and end of each one of these things, okay? Then we have our lab exam where you and I meet in person each week, and then we also have a concept quiz that's on My IT Lab, and that's every Friday night. Okay, so that's where all the grades are going to come from. Okay? There are 2 big things that cause a lot of problems in this course. One is the technology. We got to figure that out. Okay, we got to figure out the technology aspect of it. The other one is we got to figure out the problem of not wanting to do all the work, right? Because there's a ton of work. How are you gonna wrap your head around doing so much work in this class, right? So those are the 2 problems that come up. And let's deal with the technology one first, all right? And so we have a lot of different variations of hardware and software that we might be able to use to do this class with, all right? The best one is if we use a Windows PC running Office 2013, because that's the way the class is designed, right? So if you had that, you'd be perfect, right? If you had Office 2013 on a Windows PC, you'd be perfect, right? Couldn't be any better than that. However, it doesn't, that would be no problem, but it's no big deal. There's lots of other hardware configurations, software configurations that'll work. And some of those might be, right, you have a Windows PC, but you have Office 2010. Not a problem. All you're going to do is you're going to upgrade, and you're going to upgrade for free, right? All you're going to do is go to the website, this one right here, office.uoregon.edu. Because you're a student at the university, you get 5 downloads of the newest version of Office to 5 different devices. So you just go there and you grab that, and we've got a whole other video coming up showing you how to do that, okay? Another possibility, a strong possibility here, is that you have a Mac with Office 2011 on it, right? And that's really likely because about over 50% of our students here are using Macs. It's unusual. The West Coast just has a high number of Mac users, and so it's not unusual for the West Coast, but it's unusual for the rest of the world. So in all likelihood, you're on a Mac right now watching this video, and you have Office 2011. So the first thing you can do is you can upgrade your Mac. All right, you can just upgrade your Mac, do the same thing, go to office.uoregon.edu and upgrade for free, so you have the most recent version of Excel on there. And that's important because the folks that have Windows PCs that had Office 2013, the changes between Office 2013 and Office 2016 are not that significant. But the changes between Office 2011 and Office 2016 are serious, big changes. So if you're on a Mac, you still have Office 2011, which was the most recent version for Macs until recently, you need to update for sure. You want the more recent software, so just go there and do that, right? But there are still a lot of problems, right? If you use a Mac in this course, and that's because everything is designed for Windows PCs. So your your Mac, the instructions might not make sense. It'll say, hey, go hit the F4 key, and you won't have an F4 key, right? Or it'll be like, hit the control in this thing, and you have a command button instead. Nothing. A lot of the keys don't map, so you can't even follow the instructions. The other thing is that the grading engine, the thing that grades everything automatically, is designed for PCs. So you may do everything perfectly, and you should get 100% on something, and you'll only get 75 points just because you're on a Mac. So it can be very frustrating. You can do this class on a Mac, but it can be very frustrating, so I'll warn you on that one. Now, we do have a very new thing that just became available, changes this whole thing, and that is we now have this remote desktop capability here at the University of Oregon. By going to this URL right here, view.uoregon.edu, you can actually log in to a school computer using your Mac or any computer on the planet. Actually, you can log in to a school computer, and you can control it remotely from anywhere in the world, and that means that you can now basically turn your Mac into a Windows PC, so you can do every bit of homework in this class from home on a Mac by doing this, and there's a whole other video coming up to show you how to do that, right? Okay, so definitely, no matter what computer you're on, go ahead and upgrade for free, all right? Get that upgraded, and then if you're on a Mac, watch the video coming up about view.uoregon.edu and consider using that. And the other thing you can always do, of course, rather than logging into a school computer, is you can just come and work on a school computer, right? We have school computers available for you in the McKay Computing Center on the third floor of Childs here in the Lillis building, or you can just go to the library, right? There's tons of available computers right there. Right? Okay. So you can just use those, and that's always a great solution. Just come to school and use a computer here, and it'll always work for you. Right? The other potential problem, other than technology, once you get technology out of the way, the other problem is just might be you, right? and your willingness to do all this work and keep organized. And how are you gonna figure all this out? Because there's so much going on in this class. Well, the first place to start is just on the course information tab on Canvas, right? So a course information module, and you go in there and you can look at the course syllabus and a lot of this other stuff. And the course syllabus will be explained in one of the videos that you're going to watch today, right? The other thing is just about the content, all right? And so you can figure that out by going in here. Every week on Canvas has its own little module here. You're forced to watch this video, all right? You have to watch that video to unlock the rest of the videos that you have to do. But in that video, what I'll do is I'll go over this right here, this week 2 overview, and that's just a page that you can look at. And you're not required to look at that, but I recommend looking at that every week, every Sunday night, just to figure out what's going on. You can always come back and look at that again. So after you finish the intro week 2 video, right, then you'll be forced to take a quiz that'll kind of highlight some of the points that I just talked about in that one. And then the other thing that's here for you is the lab preparation document, and you always want to look at that before you come to lab. That's basically, it's a study guide for the exam you're about to take. All right. So here's what the overview looks like for week 1. You can see there's the overview. There's the stuff that we're doing. Like right now, we're doing intro to class together right now, and then you can see that all of the homework is due on Friday this week. So you have a chance to get registered for everything and get caught up. Okay, we've got a quiz Friday night, and of course you're coming to lab, and we'll do that lab. Right. Then is the other problem, right? The other potential problem can be just getting set up to do your homework, right? On My IT Lab, and there's a whole tab on Canvas called Using My IT Lab, and on there you'll see here, if you want to order a textbook, here's technical support, the document that shows you how to register, and again, there's a whole other video coming up to show you how to do this. All right, so I'll see you in the next video.